10 seconds. That's all it took for everything to fall apart. A text from my mother, cold, final. We chose Liam over you. No explanation. No apology. Just a single sentence that erased me like I never belonged. My own family had replaced me with a man who hadn't even been around long enough to know how we take our coffee. I'm Oliver, the one who fixes, funds, and holds things together while everyone else coasts. This trip to Cape Town was my gift. 1 week of beauty and rest to thank my father, Samuel, for every grease-stained shirt and sleepless shift he endured to keep us afloat. Business class flights, a cliffside villa, a private safari. Every detail planned to the second. It was meant to bring us back together. Me, Mom, Dad, and my sister, Ava. A reset. A return to when we still spoke to each other, without walking on glass. But they gave my seat to Liam, Ava's fiancé. A guy who wears the word creative like a job title, but can't make it to dinner without borrowing gas money. I didn't cry. That's not how I come undone. I opened my laptop. One file, asterisk take back. Asterisk line by line, I listed every reservation. Villa, flights, tours. Next to each, one word. Asterisk mine. Asterisk then came a second file. Balance due. Their names at the top. Ava, Helen, Samuel, and Liam. All of them had taken more than they ever gave. I remembered the first time Liam walked into our lives. All charm and hollow ideas. Pitched me a podcast like it was $1 million deal. Ava thought he was a genius. Mom thought he was sunshine. Dad just nodded, tired. I saw him clearly. A man who feeds on the generosity of others and calls it vision. Back in 2020, I bought a loft in Seattle. Brick walls, skyline views. My space. But when the factory shut down and Mom said, just for a while, I handed over the keys. No contract. Just family. $900 a month. Utilities included. They paid 3 months. Then nothing. Excuses stacked up. Ava's car trouble, Mom's retreat, Liam's phantom startup. By last spring, they owed me over $20,000. I tracked it all, foolishly thinking numbers would protect me from resentment. When I told Dad about Cape Town, he lit up, spoke about the sea like it was calling him. And for a moment, we were father and son again. Then Ava chimed in, her engagement ring catching the light. Can Liam come? I said no. For tickets. Budget set. She scoffed. You're so rigid, Oliver. Mom murmured something about family harmony. Dad just looked away. I couldn't sleep. Something didn't sit right. So I called the airline, pretending to confirm. The agent's voice was gentle, almost too calm. Your ticket was flagged yesterday. Your sister reported you'd had an accident and couldn't fly. She asked to transfer the seat to a man's name. I froze. Did they board? A pause. Someone tried using your ID. Security caught it. It's marked as fraud. I read their message again. We chose Liam over you. And I finally understood this wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a choice. I started dismantling everything. Canceled the villa, the safari, the private dinners. Called the airline and flagged Liam's return flight for security screening. Changed my card numbers. Then I handled the apartment. Called a locksmith. Installed smart locks and cameras. Taped a note to the door. Asterisk trespassers will be prosecuted. Contact owner. Asterisk they weren't guests anymore. They were invaders. I contacted my lawyer. Nora, we'll do it clean, she said. I drafted a lease, market rate, $3, $500 a month. No discounts. No exceptions. 30 days to sign or vacate. At 2 a.m., Ava texted. Panicked. What did you do? The villa's gone. I didn't answer. More texts followed. Accusations, guilt trips, demands. I imagined them sweating under the Cape Town sun, confused, stuck, scrambling. No joy, no relief, just silence as I updated the spreadsheet. They returned a week later. Pulled up like nothing happened. Mom waved like she hadn't betrayed me. Liam tried to play the injured party. Dad didn't get out. Came propped like a silent plea. I met them at the door with the lease. $3, $500 a month. Sign or vacate in 30 days. Ava laughed bitterly. You're evicting your own family? I stared back. You stole my name. You don't get my home. Liam glanced through the lease like it was beneath him. This isn't how families treat each other. I stepped closer. Good thing we're not family anymore. They didn't sign. Not the first week or the second. By the third, they weren't speaking to me. On day 30, I filed for eviction. Ava left a voicemail, sobbing. You ruined us over a trip. Mom sent a letter full of memories, like they could patch the holes with nostalgia. Dad stayed quiet. Not one sorry. Not for the theft. Not for the lies. Not for Liam. I handed everything to Nora. They moved out in silence. No goodbyes. Just boxes in a rented truck. A year passed. Then one day they came back. No Liam. Ava stood back, arms folded. Smaller somehow. Mom looked older. Her hands shook. We've been thinking, Oliver, about the trip. About you. Your dad needs heart surgery. We need help. Dad leaned on his cane. Didn't meet my eyes. I handed them an envelope. /$2 500. I said, for the surgery. That's it. Ava's voice cracked. So we're okay now. I shook my head. This isn't family. It's math. They left, the envelope unopened, their shadows swallowed by the night. I thought that was the last chapter. But 3 weeks later, a voicemail arrived. Not from Mom. Not from Ava. From Dad. His voice was broken, barely a whisper. You're no son of mine. We're done. I stood there listening. My hand shook. Not from sadness. Just finality. They hadn't just taken my seat. They'd cut me from the story entirely. For choosing to stop bleeding for them. I sent one message. You lost me when you gave my seat to a stranger. Then I blocked them all. That night, I drove. No destination. Just away. I found a small town by the coast. Walked along the shore. Let the wind cut through me. And for the first time in years, I felt something like peace. Not loud, not joyful, just clean. Free. The kind of freedom that hurts before it heals. The kind you earn when you stop holding up people who only drag you down. They took the trip, but I reclaimed myself. If you've ever let go of blood to save your soul, you know exactly what that costs and what it's worth.